That night you called Kurogiri. The choice you had to make wasn't going to be easy. When Kurogiri answered the phone, you already knew what he was going to tell you. It was what made you smile. Why are you holding back? The choice is obvious. I'm sure that Dabi will understand. Still, it doesn't make me less afraid. It's been the two of us for as long as I can remember. Then I suggest you make the deal with Tomura and Overhaul. It may help. I agree with you. The both of them want my blood quirk. Well, a blood metal quirk is rare. It can cause a lot of damage when used right. Yes, I should go now. I have to take care of the deal before Dabi gets back. Early that next day, you cleaned up, then the little boy, and you both ate. As the two of you walked to the other part of the city, then taking the subway, halfway there you had to carry the little boy on your back. Make sure the both of your faces were hidden. The building where you met Overhaul and Tomura was secluded. The both of them promised to keep the little boy safe for your blood. After you had took the little boy to his room, you told him that he would be safe and that he could see you anytime. The little boy kissed your forehead, then you were in a lab on the lab table. Tomura and Overhaul strapped you down and your mouth covered with a muzzle. Before they began, Overhaul spoke. Are you sure about your choice? Without even thinking of your choice, you nodded your head, then closed your eyes. As you felt the syringes and the scalpel in your arms, the cuts in the blood they took drained you quickly. At the end of the process, you could barely move. Sitting up was difficult, even a little painful. You weren't going to let anyone see you weak. As you walked back to the mansion, your phone rang and you knew who it was. Yes, Dabi. Everything alright? You sound tired and I'm home. I'm okay, Dabi. Just a little tired from my run. Even over the phone, Dabi thought this was odd and that you were out in the city so late. He had a feeling in his gut that made him uneasy. Dabi just ignored the feeling. He just wanted you home. Then he spoke. Just come home, okay? Smiling gently as you heard his voice. You could tell he was getting a little impatient. I will see you in a bit. As he ended the call, tears stained your face as you thought about the little boy missing him. The deal you made broke your heart. Every step back home felt like thorns in your side. When you got back to the house, it was dark. Then Dabi was holding your body close to his, one arm around your waist and then his hand around your neck. Being close to him made you blush. From the way Dabi held you, there was no words needed. That whole night he had you to himself. The next morning you were too tired to move and your arms were sore. Very surprisingly, Dabi was still asleep. Carefully, you got out of bed, still in your pants. Looking in the mirror, you seen the bite fire marks on your neck and shoulders, even down your chest. Looking in the sink, your long hair flowed down your back and over your shoulders. Trembling a little, you had to think, how do I ask him and will he be okay with it? That's what you were thinking to yourself, like you had said it out loud, and then you heard Dabi right behind you. I guess you don't sleep in anymore, and I got a very interesting call from Overhaul. Want to tell me why? This had come out of nowhere to you. Then you remembered the promise Dabi made with you. No matter what, he would love you, and no problem was unfixable. Turning around after taking a breath, then looking at Dabi to say your one question. Dabi, the reason Overhaul called is because I agreed to share my blood in exchange for a favor. Also Tomura too. Then tell me what the favor was. To take care of a kid I found. I didn't know what you were going to say. I really wanted him to stay with us. Dabi was greedy but not heartless. He knew that you needed to be protected because of your quirk. Also, he loved how big your heart was, even from the first time you met in the streets that one night. Dabi almost died in the alley, then you came around and healed him. Taking a few steps toward you, still seeing the faint burns on your arms that had been because of him. Dabi hugged you tightly after he kissed your lips, then spoke. It will be a hell of a change. Nobody I would do this with other than you. Now I have another reason to cause more trouble. Holding his hand in yours, this was the least selfish thing he did for you. Now, the dream you had for somewhat normal life was almost complete. Dabi hugged you a little longer now, and you did the same. All you knew was that Dabi was not ready for what he had agreed to. And I hope everyone enjoyed this video and look forward to the next one. Have a good night, everyone.